Okay, trying this out here. My name's Amelia. As most anybody who's going to be watching this is going to know who the heck I am. So there we go. This is a drop spindle my dad made for me, custom made. And yeah, I was asked to give a demonstration for how to do drop spindles spinning, as opposed to, we think of the big spinning wheels like in Disney cartoons or museums and things like that. And drop spindles are actually an older technology than spinning wheels. So this is some silk, I believe it is. I forgot. I pulled it out of my stash. It doesn't have a label on it, but I believe it's silk. I believe it was like Circus Clown was the name of the color or something that someone had homemade in their own home a while back that I collected. And yeah, it actually comes like this. The locks can get kind of matted. Now you can go through and comb this on a carding machine. There we go, that's what it's called. So it'd be like the combs, but there's also a crank version that I have here at the house. I should pull out and start using again. I used to actually have the old Viking combs for working with these. Those look like great big claws, like, who's that guy? I'll think of his name later. Hugh Jackman, I think, plays him. I don't remember. Anyway, can't believe I can't think of the word. But anyway, the big claws, those are Viking combs. I used to have a pair of those out west. So what I'm doing here, this is what's called a draw. And with doing a drop spindle, you either do S twist or Z twist. So whether it makes the letter S or makes the letter Z or Z. I guess you wouldn't have a bar on it, but you know what I mean. I'm hoping the sunshine behind me actually helps with being able to see this. So yeah, let me put this on and I'll show you again. So we wind this on. So this is part of what a regular spinning wheel automates, is the winding on business. Takes it off your hands, takes that length of wool off your hands, puts it onto the spindle, and so then you can go on to work onto your next bit. So I'm taking a piece of fluff, a bit of silk fluff here, and I'm laying my, I always twist to the left when I'm doing single plies, and then when I double ply into two strands, I twist to the right to keep the balance between, so I am spinning counterclockwise at the moment, if I think about it. Yep, that's counterclockwise. And I pull on this. There's short draws and long draws, and sometimes it doesn't work, so sometimes it pulls apart. But I'm always ready to splice it back in. So as I start twisting here to the left, then there we go, it's spliced in. Sometimes it gets too light or too heavy and it doesn't hold, and that lets me know how the quality's going. So if it starts to fall apart on me, I need to get a better quality happening. So here we go. I must be a little nervous on the video. So here we go, I'm splicing them together, twisting them. So it's really not that different. Anybody who's had their eyebrows or their facial hair threaded before, it's a very similar idea of taking the two threads and twisting them until they pinch things off in between. Here we go. Yeah, and once again, I guess I learned to use my really long arms so that I get a much better length than a lot of people do, and what's traditionally taught with drop spindles. So I'm going around, and if this starts going too wonky, then it gets out of control. This helps give me my weight my spin, lets me control those sort of things. And if some parts are thick and thin, a little bit thicker in some spots, a little thinner in some spots, that gets evened out with the 2-ply process. So what I'm doing here to explain is I'm winding it on to the spool, to the spindle, and then I wrap it around. Yeah, I wrap it around for like a half hitch there, and then I bring it up and I put for another half hitch. I asked my dad to go on his wood lathe. There we go, this word I'm looking for, wood lathe, and to give me this little notch here. So then, instead of some where you're trying to hook it here or others, this would be considered bottom whorl. There's other ones that considered a top whorl. And then with those, you could do your half hitch here into the hook and then spin that way. And as you can see, I'm actually unspinning what I just did there by going that direction. So I've got to spin once again to the left to keep my direction going. But I prefer the drop spindle, the weight, the control of the whorl being on the bottom. And that's the first part to talk about for right now, I guess. So I hope that was helpful and entertaining. And we'll have a part 2 if anybody's interested. Thanks.